All right, so the first thing I want to say is I'm a fan of Andrew Tate. I don't think he is. I don't think the guy's evil at heart. I don't think his intentions are to do evil. Well, first off, thanks for all the subs, the likes, the comments. Appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for the support on Venmo, Cashapp, PayPal. I appreciate every single one of you. The Patreon, I'm trying to figure it out. If they're only gonna let me upload like 5-minute videos, I'm just gonna do away with Patreon and give you all your money back. I haven't touched the money out of it, so I'll let you know before I erase the account. If that's what I end up doing, then I'm gonna make a post on Patreon to tell you to get a refund, and then once all y'all get your money back, I'll just get rid of it. Or if they're gonna let me upload normal size videos, then I'm gonna stay with it. We'll see. All right, so now Andrew Tate made some, in my opinion, he made some big mistakes, which led to the position he is in now. So the first mistake that I think he made was with the webcam thing. According to what I've read and heard, actually I didn't read anything about it, but I saw videos on YouTube about it. But so apparently they were kind of screwing these guys out of their money. They were like, they were having the chicks pretend to be typing to the guys, but him and his brother were doing the talking, and what they were doing was just trying to get the guys to give up as much money as possible, which these are lonely guys who they were just kind of taking advantage of these guys, which it's not, you shouldn't do things like that, and there's a price to pay. Everything you do in life, there's a price to pay. If in a way it's stealing, in my opinion, and now a lot of salesmen, they'll blur the lines in their own mind about stealing, and because they want to make money, but the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? If you're misleading people and you're getting them to give you money for different reasons than they than they think they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys thought they were helping these girls out a lot of the time, but really they were just making the Tate brothers filthy rich. And a lonely guy with a pretty girl who he thinks she really likes him, she can get everything out of him. I'm not even a lonely guy, but if I really like a girl and I'm really attracted to her, I'll give her all my money. I'm dumb like that, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm a sucker like that. So that is why I'm real careful about dealing with girls. But, so they were dead wrong with that, and there's a price to pay for that. Now, the other major mistake I think he made was he was kind of trying to portray himself as like a gangster. And let me get to this point first. Here's another mistake he made. I don't think he realized how far and wide his words were going to spread. So he was speaking pretty carelessly a lot of times, and saying things like, insinuating that he was kind of connected to the mob, or insinuating that he was laundering money. Like, I heard him say, I've heard him say things like, well, the money that I can say that I've transferred here and there. And I'm like, is this guy basically just telling the world that he's laundering money? It's just not smart. And I don't know if he actually was laundering money, or if he was just trying to seem like some sort of gangster mastermind. But either way, a real gangster who's really doing things like that, you ain't never gonna see him talking about it. I mean, there's a reason the mafia just keeps a very low profile, and people don't even think they exist anymore, because they're too smart to be out there bragging about the things they do, or to even draw any kind of attention to themselves, because any attention is bad if you're doing illegal things. If you're totally legit and doing everything legitimately, then all press is good press. But if you are doing things illegally, the last thing you're gonna want is attention. It's not smart. It's dumb. That's why a lot of these rappers who sing about killing people, if they're actually doing that, it's just a matter of time before they're going to get taken down. It's a stupid way to be. It's really, you know what I mean? It's dumb. But the other thing is, people don't realize that once you put something on the internet, it is there permanently. You can erase it, whatever. It ain't going nowhere. There's a permanent record of it. And the other thing is that every single thing you do on the internet can be tracked back to the first time you were ever on the internet. If they really wanted to, they could track everything you've ever done on the internet. You know what I mean? I don't know the technical aspect of it, but I know one thing: every single IP address you've ever had has an entire record attached to it of everything that computer has ever done on the internet. So, you know, he put a lot of information out there that I believe if he realized how popular he was going to get, he would have never said half of these things, you know. So there was another major mistake. Now, another major mistake is you really shouldn't. It's a brave thing to do what he did, just kind of going right up against the powers that be, but there's more subtle ways to do it. You know, you don't have to just ram into him face first, because that's not how you beat a giant. You know, like with David and Goliath, David didn't run up and start clubbing at the giant. He was using a sling and keeping his distance and hitting him with stones. You know what I mean? You gotta, if you ever read The Art of War, Sun Tzu says basically, if you're facing a superior force, the last thing you want to do is go head on. You got to fight guerrilla warfare, which is like hit and run type shit. You don't go straight at them, because you're gonna get squashed. You gotta use what you have to your advantage and not play to their strengths. You know, if you never read The Art of War, you definitely should read it. The best version of The Art of War that I ever read, believe it or not, is actually a comic book. I'll link it in the description of this, because it's such a great version of it. And I've read multiple translations of The Art of War, and yeah, the best translation I've stumbled across is actually a comic book. It's absolutely brilliant. It's written by a Taiwanese guy. I'll link it in the description, and everyone should get it. But so, yeah, I don't think he realized how far and wide his words were going to spread. That was a major mistake. And yeah, the other thing is, you just don't ram face first into a rhinoceros. You can't do that. It's not going to turn out well. But one of the things that kind of amazes me is that in Romania they can hold you without trial for months. I can't believe that, dude. They just arrested him right before New Year, and they're still holding him without a trial. I can't believe that's legal. That's like, what do you call it? That's like the abduction. You know what I mean? You can't hold people against their will without a trial. Like, what? I don't know. I don't get the laws in Romania, man. That must be a real crazy setup for them to be able to do that. But one of the reasons I think he was living in Romania is because, now I don't know this guy, and I don't know for sure, but just what I've gleaned from watching him on YouTube, I think he kind of made a lot of enemies in the past. And I've seen some of the Hustlers University stuff just out of curiosity. A lot of it's leaked online, so I was watching it to see what it was all about. And he's kind of telling people to just be kind of a dishonest salesman, which, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. You might make a lot of money, but you're also going to make a lot of enemies. You know what I mean? Selling to people in a dishonest way, in my opinion, is a lot like stealing. And some people, they're not going to let that go. They're not going to just forgive and forget. They're going to be out for vengeance. You know what I mean? It's just how some people are. Personally, I believe you should leave vengeance up to God. You know, like it says in the Bible, "Vengeance is mine," said the Lord. It's not our job to be judge, jury, and executioner. And the truth is, seeking revenge is only going to hurt you in the long run, because you're lowering yourself and doing things you shouldn't be doing, which are going to bother you in the future, you know, whether subconsciously or consciously. When you do things, when you hurt people, even if you're justified, it bothers you in the future, you know what I mean? I've sought revenge, and it never made me feel any better. It never made me feel good. Hurting people never made me feel good. So I don't do it anymore under any circumstances, unless I'm defending myself. But you know, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's an entertaining guy, and I hope he gets out of jail soon. But he was saying things like insinuating, and you can find this information yourself. If you think the Romanian authorities don't have everything he's ever said online and they're not combing through it, you are mistaken. But he's just insinuated that he was actually laundering money, which is like, it's one of the dumbest things he's ever done in his life. I can guarantee you that. It was a stupid thing to do. I'm trying to think of the exact words he used, but I'm very careful about what I say online. It's not like I have some, connections to the mob or anything illegal going on, but I realize that every video I put up on YouTube is going to be up as long as civilization is intact and the internet still works. I could erase my whole YouTube. My videos are still, people are still going to be able to see them. Your words ain't going nowhere once you put them online. So, like, you got to be careful. Don't make the mistakes he's made. It's like, don't be dishonest. Don't be misleading. Don't take advantage of people. Because even if those people don't come for revenge, the karma is going to come for you. So, and I believe he kind of knew that. I've seen videos of him where he was saying, like, the reason he's got so much security around him is because peace of mind is so important. Now, if he wouldn't have made so many enemies and stuff, he wouldn't need security for peace of mind, like, deep down, everyone knows, if you're sitting there worried about people coming out to get you, it's probably because you did something that made them want to come out and get you, But I don't believe that he's done anything that's so terrible that warrants, years and years in jail. Not even close. I mean, the people who got suckered out of their money, they are to blame too. You got some girl on the internet that you don't know. You can't let her just swindle you out of thousands of dollars. I don't care, I don't care how much you like her. I've never given a girl money over the internet, and I never will. I've given girls money in person, like if we're going out and hanging out. That's just how I am. I'm not selfish with my money. Like, if I'm out with a girl, I don't mind paying. Like, I want to have fun, you know what I mean? I don't want to be sitting there counting my pennies and worrying, you know what I'm saying? But I've had girls try to hit me up for money, and I'm like, you got me fucked up. I'm not that type of sucker, you know what I mean? I'm a sucker for a pretty girl, but I ain't so bad to where I'm gonna start sending you money over the internet and I never even met you, like, I'm not like that. But a lot of dudes in this day and age, I don't know about a lot, but some of them are, and it's because we live in a lonely time, and some of these guys are pretty desperate for some companionship, and girls have a way of, it's in a man's nature to protect a girl and to take care of her, so girls can take advantage of that on guys, and those guys should not be ashamed of themselves for being that way, because that's what civilization is built on, you know what I mean? It's built on strong men protecting their families and their women and taking care of them and making sure that they are fed and taken care of. So, for him and his brother to do that to these guys, that was very, very wrong. And to build an entire fortune off it, how much could they have been getting out of these guys? I can't even imagine, but apparently they were getting like tens of thousands of dollars a month. I mean, they must have really been, draining these guys of everything. It's like, come on, bro, you can't. you do stuff like that, it's gonna come back and it's gonna bite you in your ass, bro. That's just the nature of the planet. That's the nature of the world we live in. That's how things go. You can't be that way, man. Don't do that. You know. Um, they must have been sucking these dudes dry, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that was the first and the biggest mistake he made. I think another mistake he kind of made was he wanted to be famous. In my opinion, there is really no upside to fame. There's an upside to fortune. The only upside to fame is fortune. But who the hell needs everyone paying attention to you all the time and watching everything you do and wanting to be fame to me is like, that's the that was one of the reasons I kind of just stopped doing stand up. I started thinking to myself, like, do I want, in order to succeed in stand up, I'm gonna have to be somewhat famous. And I was thinking to myself, like, I am not just gonna dive into this face first. I need to think about this. So that was another reason I kind of dropped off the comedy scene. I was thinking to myself, like, do I really want, I know I want the money, but do I want the fame? I don't know. And that was another reason why I was hesitant for so long to do YouTube, because I was also thinking to myself, I don't know if I want everyone knowing me, you know? I'm not sure I want that. But then I just felt deep inside that I need to start a YouTube, and, you know, I was following my heart, dude. Whatever. Come what may. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. I don't care about fame either way. You know, I do care. I want to make money. I want to have a job that I don't hate. So YouTube is that. But whatever. You know, I'm just gonna let the chips fall where they may. But yeah, I mean, and I follow the Tates on like their little YouTube channels and stuff, and I read the little quotes they put up pretty much every day, and they seem to still be under the impression that money is like the most important thing. But I guarantee if you ask them both 20 years from now, they're gonna tell you there's a lot more important things than money. You know what I mean? But hopefully I'm hoping they don't have to do a bunch of jail time, because like I said, I don't think they're murderers or rapists or sex traffickers. I don't think they've done anything particularly really bad. I think they've swindled a few people out of money, but which is not a good thing. But I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to see once the trial happens and what the evidence is. And I don't know. I've seen him say things to where you like, this guy must be an asshole to say such things, but really it's an act. You know, he's being entertaining and he's generating clicks, and I really don't think he's really like that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it is he's playing a character, you know, and I do believe that he was playing a character when he was kind of trying to come off like some sort of mafioso, because any real mafia boss is not going to be on the internet talking about laundering money or even being connected to the mob. They're going to deny it through and through. You know what I mean? Unless they've already been to jail and all that shit, because that's the guys who have podcasts and stuff now. They're kind of out of the mob, you know. But you ain't going to see no active mobster on the internet trying to get famous, you know. You're just they're not going to do that, and if they do, they're basically turning themselves into a target, not just for the police, but for the people they're associated with. You know what I mean? They're not going to do it, dude. And if they do, they're not going to last long. You know, rappers are a little different. I do believe a lot of rappers are just kind of not particularly in the streets still. If they're smart, they're not. If you're making money with rap, what are you going to be doing hits on the street and selling drugs? That's just flat out fucking dumb, bro. Like, if you're doing that, then it's just a matter of time before everything comes crashing down. How many rappers has that happened to, you know? Like, Casanova's in jail, fucking K-Flock's in jail, like 6ix9ine had to end up snitching on a bunch of people. And you know, it's if really out here committing crimes and then bragging about it on the internet, you're not going to last very long. And if you are lasting long, it's only because they're just watching you and collecting more evidence. You know what I mean? It's like you're not long for this world if that's the type of stupidity that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's just you're begging for problems basically, and what's the upside? Like I don't get it at all. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Here's the other thing. I don't care how powerful you are, how many people you know. The government is more powerful. They've got armies backing them up. You can't go at them full force, dude. You just can't do it. You can speak your mind and you can be honest. That's what I'm gonna do. But you're not gonna see me. You're not gonna see me like going at him like he was. You know. But I don't know. I guess that's the end of this video. I'm probably gonna refilm this one anyway.